Hey, 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 this is Coach Kinsey Shae here with Bobby Merwin.
Hello.
And, we're going to talk about Gen Xers. Are we stagnant? Are we in the same place? We're looking at it from a coach
I'm not
perspective
stagnant. I'm moving around. Not stagnant.
and a counselor perspective. And
Mm-hmm.
let's just state the obvious. I'm going to be Captain Obvious. I'm a female. He's a male. So we're just looking at a lot of different perspectives. So just make sure to like and subscribe. Do
Mm-hmm.
all that fun jazz as we break this down. There's
Break
a
it down.
break it down.
Break it down.
I'm just gonna pull up the meme. Gen X, the only generation that became 30 at the age of 10 and still is 30 at the age of 50.
I read that and I felt it in my
Mhm.
soul. I
Yep.
really did. And I was just telling you about some plans that I'm making with a couple of buddies of mine, right? Before we
Right.
started this. I graduated high school with them. So we're still friends and we live a bit of a distance apart.
Right.
But when I read that, I thought of them. Because
Mhm.
that's how we function as we're still in that mode. So I'm going to steal this from you because you are the one that thought of this. Are we staying a bit stagnant,
Yeah.
or are we moving with the times and accepting the things that we need to, like all the googly webs and the TikToks and the stuff like that? Or are we
Or
being
there's
an old codger?
there's a layer to it too. Are we allowing ourselves to be children, to be curious in our
Oh
life?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Quite often we get stuck in the constraints of what we should do, and what we're expected to do instead of being curious in the circumstances, because circumstances are just an invitation to learn more about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's such life lessons and
Circumstances are just an invitation to learn more about yourself.
mhm,
I like that.
yeah,
Did you come up with that?
I
That's really
did.
good.
I
Wow.
did.
Write that down. As Van Wilder says, write that down. Not even kidding. That's good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna be recorded anyway, I can remember.
I was joking about the write it down. You came up with it.
I
Oh my
was
God.
like all about it. I was
Oh,
all about it.
Kinsey.
But
Kinsey.
no,
Jesus.
quite often, a lot of people that I coach, they're just like, "This is who I am. This is
Mm-hmm.
who I had to be."
Right.
And they go into the woe is me, and I'm not putting down what they went through or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's the state of the how they said it, not what they
Mm-hmm.
went through. So please don't get it twisted. But
Don't get your panties in a bunch.
yes, yes. But the thing is quite often as a Gen Xer, we had to be very self-reliant, very
Oh,
self-sufficient,
oh
and
yeah.
we really didn't have an opportunity to be children. There's two, sides to that coin. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we did get thrown out at the beginning of the day, the majority of us, and just be home. So we just kind of did life.
Mm-hmm.
And but at the end of the day, most of us will focus on, I had to do this. I had to take care of my brothers. I had to cook my own meals. I had to do this.
Right.
We don't live in the curiosity of the daylight days when we were just out with the boys, the girls, just hanging out and being curious
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and figuring things out, like what will happen if I drop this off the roof,
Mm-hmm. Right.
moment.
And I love what you're saying there, because I just had to structure this with a client recently who had come into a inheritance from
Mhm.
his father,
Right.
and he had a guilt because his father had worked so hard to do this. And whenever the client would try and do something like save money to buy something prolific, like one time there was a big thing where he wanted to buy a camera because he was really into photography. Now he
Right.
didn't want to buy candy or a stuffed animal. He wanted to buy a camera, and his father looked down on him because of it. And I said, well, your father was raised in an era where it was the Depression, and they were
Mhm.
holding on to everything like they
Yep.
could. Now, you said something about we were not able to be children. I think that you kind of meant as much as we could have been.
Yeah.
We didn't have the structure that we needed. We were just like you said, we were booted out at the start of the day. If it was summer and if it was 8 a.m., GTFO,
Yeah.
go find your friends. I don't want you back here until it's lunchtime.
Yep.
And they were serious, If I
Yep.
came home before 11:30, I was in trouble. Go
Yeah,
out and
you were
play.
locked out. I mean, I
You
don't know
were
about
out.
you.
I know, but we were, and it's true. And people that are not Gen X are going like, no, that didn't happen. Your mom followed you everywhere on your bicycle and said, are you sure you don't want these training
No.
wheels?
Mm-mm.
No, it was get out.
Yeah.
So the point is that we had to structure our own growing up in that way. And
Mhm.
part of us craved a little bit more parental interaction, but that was a time where, you had to have those two incomes to make it. And that was the real genuine start of it right about there.
Mm-hmm.
And now that hasn't changed. It's only gotten worse.
Well, it just snowballed into a lot of other circumstances.
Mhm.
And some are harder to navigate. I tend not to go into the extremes of good, bad, worse, better.
Mhm.
They were just circumstances, and it is snowballed to the point where it's not even visually the same. It doesn't even feel
Mhm.
the same as what we went through. So in this, I just really is that in your day, do you structure in, because a lot of Gen Xers, we craved structure. We wanted somebody to create structure.
Oh, God, we did. You're so right.
Yeah. So in this time and space, are you cultivating structure in your life? Are you setting time for you,
Mhm.
to be curious, to start a new hobby, whether you suck or not, just to play?
Pick me. Pick me.
Okay, Bobby.
My day is very structured. I have a paper calendar sitting right here for some things. I have a computer calendar sitting there for other things. I have another paper calendar down there because of, EHR and HIPAA, you can't cross things
Right.
over, right? But when it comes to structuring stuff to do for myself, man, am I bad at that.
Mm-hmm.
Bad at it. I'm like, I had to tell myself that this year I was going to do these 3 things
Mm-hmm.
for myself. One of them is going to take a couple of days, but one of them is going to take a couple of months.
Exactly.
And I want to do this. And I'm bringing a friend in that's also Gen X with me. I'm dragging him by, I'd say the hair, but he doesn't have much of it. Sorry, Kenny.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, I'm dragging him with me. I'm like, no. You want to do this. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I am learning now. And you can learn now, everybody. You can.
Well, the thing is really setting up. I do this with my clients. Is like we do environments, like really taking stock of your environments and where you want to improve. You could, some people do it with the wheel of life. Some, there's a lot of different formats you can do it with. And once you get that set, then you look at your core values, not your parents, not your work, not your organization, whether it be church or military or whatever. What are your values? Because that will give you bumper rails on your non-negotiables, things that no matter what, you're going to do each and every day. Like, for example, non-negotiable for me, I mean, I get up, I make my bed, I do mindfulness, I do breathing, I walk my dog, and then I eat. You know what I mean? That gets me in and I do some form of devotional because, I'm Christian. But that's my, that doesn't need to be your non-negotiables. But that's mine. It gives you bumper rails, and then you have the same kind of thing in the evening. What do you do to wind yourself down? Is it reading? Is it taking a hot Epsom salt bath? Is it, journaling? These are your non-negotiables. Like, you look at where you want to be and you make those non-negotiables on your values. So, it's just really taking time to be with yourself, to understand yourself, to become the better version of yourself, So,
And Gen X people definitely have a hard time dedicating time to themselves. I think it would be one of those things where they have so many things going that they can't seem to mentally afford it. And I think that we have to take out some time, just like you were saying, even if it's as simple as, doing the walk with the dog, and then you do a couple of things and do some mindfulness before you eat. Even that 10 minutes, it adds up. I tell people, if you put $5 in the bank every day, you're going to have a lot of money at the end of the year.
Well, because I can guarantee you, most people have a non-negotiable of 10 minutes sitting on the crapper with their phone scrolling for, I mean.
Wow, if that is not absolute gospel, I don't know what is. I've even seen memes that said, "You're taking a shit right now and looking at this, aren't you?" Right? Because people are doing that, right? And that's the time, you are right, where we have that non-negotiable, because we are taking care of Mother Nature, but we're also double dipping at the same time, and we're on our phones looking through things. I mean, I can't tell you how many texts I have returned on the throne. We've all done it. We've all done it. But we need to do more than that. It's not just like, okay, I gave myself 10 minutes to, do what nature asked me to do.
You couple your care, meaning, okay, you get up every morning to go to the bathroom. You sit on the toilet, right? Do your breathing. Do that couple minutes of deep breathing, just to focus on your breath. Do the mindfulness.
There's a joke in there somewhere. Yes.
When you're brushing your teeth, I teach this a lot. When you put on affirmations like I'm bold, I'm whatever your goals are, put on the mirror, put those affirmations and really feel it while you're brushing your teeth. Like you're brushing your teeth and you're saying them and you're looking in the mirror. Looking in the mirror and reciting them in your head or out loud after you're done brushing your teeth. What my point is that when you couple your care, you will do it, because those are things you do every single day. And if you take a minute after you're done doing your business, you can put those in.
You can. I completely agree with you. I'm trying not to laugh because it's juvenile. But it's the truth. We can do that. And I'm just trying to see myself mumbling through my affirmations as I'm brushing my teeth. I am fantastic.
No, but you could say it in your mind. But I mean, you can. Honestly, what I do is I read them. It's just a checkpoint. Like if I have a goal for that week, I put it on a sticky, put it on my mirror. I see it every morning when I get up. I see it every night when I go to bed. And then it gets my mind primed for my day and for my next day.
Right.
They're simple things. Was that your stomach?
It was. I'm so sorry. God, my microphone is awesome. Let's just start there. I'm gonna pop this down a little bit. Hold on. Remember I said that we got to wedge this in because I've got like a client and like a quick lunch. I literally set things out on the counter, so I'm ready to go as soon as I'm done here, but I might be a little bit hungry. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'll drink some more liquid.
So the point of this is, going back to the meme, we were very much conditioned to be older than what we were supposed to be at that time. But it was a choice in our adulthood to stay stagnant in that time and not be curious as a child to grow.
Correct, because we knew the pattern. And it's like something that you and I fight every day with people, that they will stay in this muck and mire because they know what it looks like.
It's comfortable.
I'm comfortable here. I'm fine. There's leeches and, dragons and, whatever. There's piranha. No, I know what this is. I'm fine.
Well, we're very much conditioned to play it safe. We're very much conditioned to find the comfort, but growth is not in comfort. Growth is in irritation. That irritation is an invitation to grow.
And you said that a couple of weeks ago, and I still love it, and it still resonates with me, and I've said it multiple times. Irritation is an invitation. to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Yep.
really, really is.
Yep. I mean, there's circumstances that come up. I mean, crap happens. I mean, my car accident, I almost died, whatever.
Mhm.
But I was in a wheelchair. I had umpteen billion surgeries. But it was a gift, my friends.
Mhm.
I got to know myself. I got to be here speaking with you and everybody else in this virtual craziness world. But I love it. If I would have kept going because it was comfortable, because I very
Mhm.
much was, I had that very much aching inside, like my life is more than this. I had that nudge that I should be doing more, but I kept bearing all of my emotions and
Mhm.
just doing the status quo.
I love that you said that. You said something about that achingness that you had inside.
Yeah.
And you needed that nudge. The
Yep.
funny thing is, as you're saying that, I'll bet you $1, everybody that's listening to this right now is saying to themselves, yes, and I can feel that. It's like this nagging feeling that they
Right.
have. But there's this also fear of pushing on it, or will people accept that I push on it? Like, what if I told my wife that I wanted a motorcycle? Or what if I, told my significant other that I need this more in my life? What are they going to say? Are they going to reject me? Are they going to accept it? You
But
need to make it about you.
it is. It's an external validation. Yes,
Yep.
there's components of being with someone, but there's a compromise. But the thing
Mhm.
is your growth is your responsibility. It's not anybody else's.
Correct. That's why I
And
said you need to make it about you.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's not, we're not telling you to go to your significant other and say, this is what I'm doing, da 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 da. You invite them in the journey, but you don't ask them permission in the
Mhm.
journey.
Right.
Yes.
My stomach's growled a couple of times. One time I actually moved away from the camera. I'm like,
You're fine. But no, so I guess what I really love this topic because, you know, we anchor to the excuses of why we are the way we are. But when we have the decision point to make decisions for ourselves, we stay with the status quo
Mhm.
and we don't grow. And sometimes the easiest way is to be curious like a child and
Mhm.
really, not look at the circumstances. Like in your hearts of hearts, what do you want to do? What would make your heart happy?
Mhm.
And reverse engineer it to make your heart happy.
Mhm.
It might not look like exactly how it looks in your head, like I have to have this, this, or this, but you can ask yourself, okay, I have this. How can I move a toe further? Sometimes you don't need to take a step further. You just need a toe to move forward.
No, you're not wrong. I'm not making fun when I'm looking
Yeah.
down. I'm being serious. Like, just move that little bit. Every
Yeah.
time I do something more for myself
Mhm.
around my world, and it's not something elaborate. Like if I like work in my office and like the other day I built a file cabinet,
Mhm.
little IKEA action. But I had put it off.
Yep.
So what did I do? I made time to do it. Guess who felt better? This guy.
Yep.
I did.
Right.
I was like, cool, I got that done. Hooray. Now I put my printer there. Da, 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 yeah, da, da. And it leads to other things that you could do.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And it's cumulative, meaning you don't have to a lot of I get this all or nothing type of mentality a lot with people I coach.
Mhm.
Set time without expectations, meaning you're going to give yourself 30 minutes to do this task
Mhm.
and you're going to honor and celebrate yourself whether it's done or not. And you're setting another 30-minute block. Guess what? Over time it's going to get done. And
Yep.
who's going to honor and celebrate themselves? You are.
I had a very wise man say to me many years ago, who, by the way, had made it through 7th grade. And
Mhm.
he's just one of the wisest men I know. And
Yeah,
he said, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
indeed.
And that's how you get it done. So you got to do something for yourself. And I would believe, and I'd like your opinion on this, because I have a guilt that I've dealt with, am still dealing with, to be honest.
Okay.
And like, I feel like I'm being selfish if I do things for myself.
Mhm. Well, there's probably something underlining a big core belief from when you were
Hmm.
a child,
Yeah.
you know?
Hmm.
So that guilt, I was very much brought up with Catholic guilt. And in my journey,
I have poor people's guilt. I don't have Catholic guilt. Mommy, we can't afford new shoes. Just wear your sandals. You know.
honestly, whenever I get a guilty feeling,
Hmm.
I just ask myself, is this truth or a lie? And then I ask myself, is this always the case? I just really kind of just whittle it away until I find the truth.
You
And
could say
sometimes
nibble,
you need to,
whatever word you want to use that works for you. You use it.
yes,
Use the word.
yes.
That is
But no,
great, though, that
I
you
mean,
take that self inventory. Keep going.
yeah, it's just being curious in it. Like when you have that sunken feeling, that shame or that guilt,
Hmm.
it's basically being curious in your questions. Is it always this way? Do I need to always do it this way? And it granted, always is a very disempowering word. It is very
Never. Yeah.
disempowering. Yeah.
Hmm.
Always, never, all those, because it just negates everything you say. But it's just being curious in it, because most
Hmm.
often you will figure out that it was something when you were little Kinsey, somebody told you that you didn't deserve that,
Hmm.
and that you had extreme guilt and shame because you wanted that. The guilt and shame shouldn't, because you had desire. That's an innate feeling and emotion that we all
Hmm.
have, but it's how we cultivate to get to that desire. And limiting those limiting beliefs, once we find
Hmm.
the lies in the belief, the untruths, if you
Yeah.
will, that is where the power is. That is when you're able to just disempower that frame of thinking and replacing it with, like, okay, say little Kinsey didn't deserve this. Okay. So when I want something today, I'm like, okay, what's my budget? Does this fit into my goals? Not
Hmm.
whether it makes me feel good or whatever. It's not always about making yourself feel good, because that leads into other disorders.
Going from one problem to the next. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm saying that it can
Right.
couple. It can
Right.
couple. That's why I brought it up.
Hmm.
But the thing is just really allowing yourself, like, okay, what are my big vision goals? That's why having your values as your boundaries and your vision to move you forward, it
Hmm.
will automatically it will automatically answer that question, whether you you intend to receive that or not. You know what I mean?
Hmm. I do. I do.
So it's just really just, is it an alignment for you, or is it just to soothe um your plume? I call it
Soothe,
that.
soothe your plume.
Yeah, your ego.
Yeah.
I call it when you are I call it peacocking, when you're
Hmm.
like when you're because you always puff out, you show you show everything, and you
Hmm.
know
Yep.
soothe
Well,
your plume.
you did say a lot there, and one of the things that I'm touching on again is the whole being able to do things and having the least amount of guilt to be able to do them, because I do think that you said something about Catholic guilt, and we all have some sort of guilt in our world that just gets in our way. And if we can, put a little bit towards that, again, you said something about 5 minutes, do this for 5 minutes. And
Mhm.
maybe the next day it'll turn into 6 minutes. And maybe the next week it'll turn into 7 minutes. And you can keep doing that and find out that it's actually not negative, that it's actually helping you in your life rather than concentrating on all the things that were not helping you as much.
And another way, I call it the 7 layers of why. Just keep on asking yourself, why do I feel guilty about this? Answer it.
Mhm.
Why do you feel guilty about this?
Thank you
Answer
for
it.
saying that. because
Why
that's
do
the other
you
thing
feel
that I wanted to touch on, and was that
Yeah.
you have an excellent way of doing a self-inventory. You are a professional at that.
Mhm.
I would like to actually be as good as you are at that.
Oh,
I
thank you.
have to really actually talk myself into asking myself questions, and we've had this misnomer that has been dealt to us through our lives that if we're doing self-talk that we're half crazy already. Not the truth.
No.
Not the truth at all. You don't need to go walking around the grocery store babbling to yourself. That might be one thing. But, you know, if you're doing self-talk and saying, is this actually the way I want to think about this? Is that
I mean,
actually the way I want to view this?
I'll put my voice recorder on and I'll just keep asking myself the question, why am I guilty about this?
Mhm.
Answer it. Why am I guilty about this? Answer it. Why am I guilty about this? If that's the stopping point of you think you are crazy because you're talking about yourself, put the recorder on, because everybody's talking to the recorder today.
They are. You're right. Hell, when you're not even here, I just talk into the camera just because it makes you feel better. So
Yeah. There we go. There we go. But I mean, it's not just doing the 7 layers of why. Okay, yeah, you get to the root of the thing. Now it's the question of how can I move forward? How can it's the question of how.
Mhm.
You don't want to stay in the, because why keeps you stuck a lot of times if you leave it there. If you progress in like, okay, how can I not feel guilty about this? It moves you into action. So you do the why, then the how, and then you act. Meaning act, assess, and adjust, and rinse and repeat. You leverage your information. It's just a circle. So act, assess, adjust, rinse and repeat.
Triple
So,
A. Act,
yeah. Triple
assess,
A, baby.
adjust.
Triple A.
Came up with it. Boy,
Triple A your life.
yeah, that's not a copyrighted thing or anything. No.
No, it's
Yeah,
3 A's. It's triple A's.
yeah, it is. It is
Yeah.
triple A's.
Yeah.
Yes, but you are right. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to do this today, and that was a really
Me
good
too.
subject matter.
Yeah.
We have to give me some time for lunch because, as you heard, like it's not even me telling you;
Multiple
it's
times.
you're getting the audibles of what is going on
I
in
know.
my body. It's going, please, God, give me some. What have I done to you? You know.
So Gen Xers, please, please, get out of the stuck mentality.
Get out of the stuck.
Yeah.
That's gonna
And
be our
allow
thing.
yourself
I
to
like
be
that. Get
curious.
out of the stuck.
Get
I
out
like
of the
that.
stuck.
Why are you in the stuck? Get out of the stuck. That's good. These Kinseyisms are gonna like shine through. They're gonna make this bigger than ever. It's not gonna be anything other than all of a sudden there's a Kinseyism that went through and somebody heard it and went, "Get out of the stuck." God, that's a great idea.
You look in the mirror if you're all in a pissy mood. Get out of the stuck.
Get out of the stuck. What is wrong with you?
All right, gen-x-ploration peeps. We will enjoy you. Like and subscribe if you got value, because this is from our hearts to yours.
Yes, it
and
is.
Please comment below questions. We love doing Q&A.
Yeah.
Love
Q&A is
it,
fun.
love it, love
We
it.
love it. So please throw something up there. A couple questions.
Yes, yes. So we will see you next week, and you guys have a wonderful weekend. Light,
Get
love,
out
and
of the
gratitude, my
stuck.
friends. Yeah.
Yes, and get out of the stuck.
Get out of the stuck.
Get out of the stuck.
All right. Bye.
See you next week.